Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. People getting promoted in their crappy fast food chain and immediately power tripping over all the subordinate staff? Classic. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. I'm not allowed to cook food off my own judgment? Okay. So my previous job was as a cook at a local KFC, which was one of the faster ones in the area. I'd been there for 3.5 years and didn't really have too many problems with management, and I was actually good friends with some of them. But then one of the senior staff got promoted to a shift runner, and that's when this already average job got worse. To put it into perspective, because I had been at the job for a couple of years doing the same thing daily, I knew my crap. I knew how much chicken we would need on a given night, and I could pretty much do my chicken runs by myself, and all the other managers let me do it because they were often too busy to watch and manage chicken. The newly promoted manager didn't like that I was bypassing her in the so-called chain of command and not listening to projections which were inaccurate the majority of the time, and started getting annoyed. Sure, sometimes we had a bit of wastage, but everyone else agreed it was better to have a couple of pieces left over than to make a customer wait 30 minutes continuously. So this manager had a go at me, and our conversation went like this. Manager: OP, you're not allowed to cook what you want. You have to wait till I tell you what to cook and cook exactly the amount I tell you to. Me: even when it's super busy, you want me to interrupt you, packing orders and making burgers to get you to tell me what I already know needs cooking? Manager: yes, I don't care how busy, I'll tell you what to cook. You have to wait for me to tell you. This happened on a Tuesday night, the busiest night at KFC where I live due to a promotion on chicken, 9 pieces for $10.95, so I didn't cook unless she told me to. And in a matter of 30 to 45 minutes, we were out of the original and spicy chicken with drive-thru full and many customers waiting on chicken. The manager walks out back and me and the other cook are laughing, cleaning things and sweeping the floor. No chicken was down, the fryers were on cool, so it would take a bit to heat up and nothing was set up. The manager proceeded to yell at us, asking why there was no chicken cooking and saying customers were waiting and they were completely out. I just turned to her and said, well, you told me today I couldn't cook without permission, and you haven't told us to cook for the past hour. The amount of complaints and pissed off customers having a go at staff members was insane. Sure, I was behind for the remainder of my shift, and we got a lot of flack from customers that night, but she started letting us cook to judgment from then on. Plenty more stories of bullcrap from KFC, of illegal things happening. Super glad to be out of that crap hole. And our second story. I'm literally in uniform. So I just got home and had this wonderful exchange. I'm in the U.S. Navy, and I came home to let the maintenance man into my apartment to work on something. He finishes his work, and I wasn't going to leave him unattended to go change, but I did take my blouse off to cool off. I see him out and remember that my lock was sticking, so it was hard to get the key in. Rather than call him back over to fix it, I remember I have some gun oil and run back inside to grab it, return to my door, spritz, spritz, test it with the key, mission accomplished. As I'm about to go back inside, I hear the dreaded, "Hey you, come here." Knowing what's coming, I think, great, now I have to deal with this, so I turn around to be greeted by, you guessed it, Karen. Haircut and all. The following is a summary of the exchange. K: what are you doing? Me: fixing the lock? It was sticking, so I'm just lubing it up. K: exactly. Why aren't you fixing mine? Me: K: just shut up, get over here and fix my lock. I put in a maintenance request 2 days ago. Me, already not having any of this. No. K: excuse me? How dare you? I'll have you know I'm friends with the office ladies and your boss. I can get you fired for laziness. Me: I doubt that. K: it's true. Now fix this lock or I'll have your job. Me: no. I don't work here, idiot. I'm literally wearing my Navy uniform. I owe you nothing. And I'm going to go back inside now. K: well, you still should have helped me. Me: maybe had you been polite about it, I would have, but certainly not now. I'm going inside and you can F off, pound sand, and kick rocks in whichever order you feel like. I shut the door 5 minutes ago, and she's still screaming and pounding on my door. Ah, music. And our next story. Greedy husband, meet newly greedy wife. My husband and I have been married for going on 8 years, and whilst I love him dearly, he has one major flaw. He's incredibly greedy with his food. For the duration of our 11-year relationship, he's always put himself first when it comes to mealtimes. When he cooks dinner, he always makes sure he gets the biggest portion or the slice of lasagna with the most cheese on it, the non-burnt half of the pizza. The list goes on, I assure you. If I'm the one cooking, he swoops in while I'm just plating it up, takes a second to compare plates, and quickly makes off with the best one. It drives me insane. After 11 years of downtroddenness, I finally snapped about 2 weeks ago. My husband went to the deli on his way home from work and got one of those freshly made-up pizzas that you take home and cook yourself. It was 12 inches, which should have been big enough for me, my husband, and our 2 small children to share. It should have meant Friday night dinner was sorted. The thing is, as I previously pointed out, my husband is greedy. My husband denies that what happened next was intentional. I don't believe him. I believe my husband entered that deli with the sole intent of ensuring that he got as much of that pizza as possible to himself. My husband entered the deli, he ordered the pizza with half pepperoni and half chicken and mushroom. Neither myself or our 2 small children like mushrooms at all. There were so many pieces of mushroom on that half of the 12-inch pizza that you couldn't see anything else. The mushrooms were chopped up so tiny that any attempt to pick them out of the cheese would have been futile. The end result was that me and the kids were forced to share half a 12-inch pepperoni while my husband enjoyed the entire other half. So unbelievably hacked off was I that I decided it was time to get even. A friend suggested I do the same thing to him next time I buy a pizza. The trouble is that my husband likes everything, as is usually the way with greedy husbands. I needed a different tack. And then it hit me. So I spent the last 2 weeks getting even with him, hitting him where it hurts, in the food cupboard. I spent the last 2 weeks finishing all his favorite foods and snacks and then putting the empty packets back in the cupboard for him to find. I finished off his Marmite. I finished his peanuts. I fed his salami to the dog. I made strawberry pudding for me and the kids last night and shared the whole lot out between the 3 of us. When my husband asked where his was, I feigned innocence and said, "Oh, sorry, I thought you said you didn't want any." And the look on his face when he came home and found me eating the last of his bacon this morning? Priceless. Edit. Because lots of people are saying I don't communicate with my husband and I'm passive-aggressive, etc., I pulled him up on this behavior countless times over the years. He usually stops for a week or so before the behavior creeps back in. He grew up as the oldest of 3 kids, so I'm guessing the behavior stems from that. I did lose it with him about the pizza, and he said he didn't do it on purpose and said he thought the kids wouldn't want any. However, I didn't believe his story because we both know the kids love pizza. And our last story. I refused to buy a house for my sister-in-law. A few years ago, my husband took a new job. It was for a small startup business, and he took a massive pay cut to do it because he loved what he was working on. It meant long hours, so I willingly took on all the household responsibilities so he could work to the best of his abilities, taking on all the responsibilities with our kids, and I also brought some money in with a small side job of my own. His hard work has paid off for us. This business has taken off, and it looks to make a fair bit of money, more than we had ever had, and my husband has gotten a substantial pay increase from it, as well as a share of the company, and his boss paid him a huge bonus. He also got a few other perks like a company car. We're currently building our dream home. We're also planning to invest some of the money, so we had something aside for our retirement. Mother-in-law came to us the other day and told us that sister-in-law needs to move. She's currently renting, but the only properties available near her kids' school are for sale, not rent. She said we could afford to buy sister-in-law a new house and have sister-in-law pay off the house to us. Husband was on the fence with the idea. He thinks sister-in-law deserves a break. She has health issues and could use the help, but I didn't agree. I said sister-in-law's great and responsible, but I don't like making these kind of financial deals with family. They always go sideways, and I'm not 100% on board with the idea I mentioned before we do anything. I'd like to contact our accountant and lawyer so we can see any issues that may arise from an arrangement like this. It'll also mean that our investment idea won't be able to happen. Mother-in-law freaked out at me and told me that it's my husband's money, not mine, and I'm just being a gold digger. I have no rights to any of it, and husband can spend it any way he wants. I have no say. She said, my husband worked hard for this bonus, not me. Apparently, she always thought I was money hungry, and this money is allowing my true colors to show. Sister-in-law needs help, and he should help family. She told me I'm a greedy a-hole that only cares about money. Once she left, she texted my husband he needs to consider a divorce because I'll keep a tight leash on money that's rightfully his and won't let him spend it how he sees fit. She also said he needs to get a good family lawyer to take the kids away from me, or I'll use that as leverage to take more of his money. I also feel I need to add that when I met my husband, he had a retail job, which he quit, and I supported him while he finished his education. I supported him when he had a crappy job when his boss paid him nothing. It's never been about money for me, but now we have it. I just want to be careful. It's not about money, it's about control. Mother-in-law wants to control his money and actions. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.